I have a theory, and that would be that it's borderline impossible for any kind of teen media to exist without it eventually aging like milk. It could be the CGI, the script.
I invented red. I am red.
The whole premise of it. Either way, I don't care what you show me, there is no TV show or movie that's catered to teenagers that's going to get out of it. And I think that's because there's a level of unseriousness that seems to be embedded into teen media, which I think can be as beautiful as it can be terrifying.
I'm such a whore.
You're my whore.
That is a beautiful moment. Just to be clear. I think it's especially bad for TV in comparison to movies, just because obviously they're a lot longer, writers have to write more, it gives them more opportunities to write some crazy shit, either because they run out of ideas or they're hoping that this will be the final straw and they can finally shut this shit down. But regardless of the motivations for the craziness, I thought today we could look back at some of the biggest teen shows of the 2010s and see how and if they've aged like milk. Before we do that though, quick thank you to today's sponsor, Thredup. If you haven't heard of them before, Thredup is actually an online consignment and thrift store. I like it a lot because I've always meant to get into thrifting, but I found that whenever I would actually go to a thrift store, I couldn't find anything good. Thredup makes it a lot easier to buy secondhand though. You can shop by size, item, brand, or color, and there's new items every day. Basically, it's the perfect combination between the ease of online shopping, but you also get the perks of buying secondhand, whether that's getting a good deal or just wanting to be more environmentally friendly. I thought I'd show you guys the new stuff I picked out for the summer. One of my favorites is this romper and dress shirt combo. The romper was originally $51 and I got it for $20.99, and the dress shirt's actually from Jones, New York, and it was $64 and I got it for only $13.99. I think it's really cute for summer, and the romper itself is super comfy. Everything in this outfit too is actually from Thredup as well. I feel like the army green is kind of giving 2012, but like in a good way. The skirt's actually from BDG and it was originally $38 and I got it for only $15.99. The tank top that I picked up was from Aonso Apparel, and the fanny pack that I got was actually a really good deal too. Its original price was like $36 and I got it for $11.99. And then the last few things I got were a shirt and a bucket hat. I'm a very big bucket hat advocate, so automatically I really like it. The shirt's really cute as well. It was actually originally from Urban Renewal and it was listed for like $24 and I got it for $7.99. If you're in the market for new clothes, I definitely recommend it. You can actually get 35% off your first order plus free shipping if you use my code Casey. Thanks again to Thredup for sponsoring. Now let's get back into the video. Okay, I want to start off with Pretty Little Liars. If you don't know, the show follows 4 girls a year after their friend Allison goes missing and they start getting blackmailed by a mysterious A figure while they try to figure out what actually happened to their friend. There are a lot of scary moments in this show. Freaky dolls, Noel Kahn's head getting chopped off, bad wigs. I would argue though that the scariest thing that came out of the show was confronting my 2010 self, who was an active supporter of ezria. I saw a high school English teacher hooking up with a 15-year-old and went, yeah, this checks out. I mean, they're in love. I mean, he's cute, he's funny, and he reads. These are the only things I care about because I'm 15 and my frontal lobe won't be done for another 10 years. I love how the premise of this show though is that there's some sort of creepy person who's getting too close to a bunch of high schoolers, but like, not this creep. We like him. They're in love. We're talking about someone else. One thing the show had though was audacity. They didn't just have the secret student/teacher affair and then move on. They tried to make it legitimate. Like, not only did it eventually come out, they went and told her parents as if they would take it well. Why is he looking at her like she's a piece of meat? Chrissy, wake up! I don't like this. Chrissy, wake up!
I wanted you to know that this started before Aria was assigned to my class.
Oh, thank God, it was before she was in your class. So you were 22 and she was 15 3/4. That clears everything up.
I love him.
Like, girl, you are 15. You love Twilight and going to the mall, not a creepy English teacher. Rewatching this though, I'm realizing that they subtly try to make it more about the fact that he's a teacher and not so much the age gap. Like, it isn't just Ezra who tries to explain that he was seeing her before he became her teacher. Even Arya's mom makes that distinction as well.
This happened while you were her teacher?
As if it would be okay if he wasn't her teacher while she's 15? I get this was probably their way of laying the groundwork to excuse the relationship once he wasn't her teacher anymore, since they eventually got married. But why did they even have to commit this far anyways? Like, it's not like they were following the source material here.
I wanted to clarify something. We wanted to tell you something important.
You slept with a 15-year-old, canoodled with a child. No, wait. You're in your Predator era.
I'm in love with your daughter.
Oh, we're going with that one. It's just so strange to watch in hindsight. But I vividly remember watching this scene for the first time being like, please let them stay together. Please understand their love. And when they took it the wrong way, thinking that Arya's dad was such a dick. Like, if anything, Byron went easy on him. He should be on a watch list. Like, everything aside, why did they do it this way? If I had a kid try to stage an at-home parent-teacher conference to reveal that they're sleeping with their teacher...
Jessica! Did you sleep with your goddamn teacher.
It's messy to say the least, but I think that because that relationship is so outrageously bad, it kind of distracts from the other weirder relationships in the show. Like Spencer's hooking up with her sister's brother, Emily's dating a girl who waterboarded her. Also, I love that the only comment on the clip that I was able to find of this scene is just somebody saying, "I love Paige," which I think is pretty decent evidence that we need to start including lesbians more often, so that they aren't left with this kind of ship to sail. There were some moments of the show though that did age well. For example, the text that Ace sent in the first place. I think the most well-known one is "Call off your techno boy toy or I tell the cops what your mom keeps in the lasagna box." But there are so many weird ones that there's a top 50 list. Not 10. 50. And it wasn't like the text got progressively weirder as the seasons went on. Right out of the gate, episode 1, season 1. "Be careful, Hannah. I hear prison food makes you fat."
What happened to hello? How are you? My name is.
I think their biggest offense as a show, though, obviously beyond encouraging a fan base of teenage girls to cheer on a relationship between a teenage girl and her teacher, and Spencer's British accent,
"I'd remember if we met, love. I promise you that,"
were the outfits. I don't know why, but it seems like the mood board for the costume design on this thing was Karen, Vice Principal, or extras from Shake It Up. It was an absolute mess. And one thing that show was gonna always do is put Spencer in a bad hat. 2011 fashion was bad. It was not this bad, though. I would know. I wore it. PLL wasn't the only TV show to dabble in the whole student ex-teacher relationship plotline, but Riverdale's is interesting to me for a different reason. I know this is the last thing I should be paying attention to, but why did they bimbify Miss Grundy? Don't even try me. I remember what she looks like in the comics. This is like casting Ryan Gosling as Dumbledore and having him hook up with Harry on the low. Do you hear how ridiculous that sounds? Why do we make these choices? Come on, this is not Love Island. There are more than enough hot people in the show already. Give us Granny Grundy. What's truly crazy though is that out of all of these shows we're going to talk about today, I'd actually argue that Riverdale has aged the best? Strictly in the sense that the oldest episodes seem to be the most normal now. I don't even flinch anymore at "Have you ever seen me without this stupid hat on?" or "I dropped out of high school to sell drugs to support my nana," because that stuff compared to what's going on right now looks like child's play. Now there's a multiverse called Rivervale. Archie becomes a human sacrifice at one point while Reggie gets dragged into hell. Cheryl even has superpowers now. Oh, and Veronica assassinated her dad. Yes! Personally, I picture Riverdale's writing room as having one of those big bingo ball spinners, and they write based on whatever that spits out every morning. But I have to admit, I kind of want to restart it and watch it all, just to see how it ties all together, okay? You can't tell me that you just heard all of those updates and aren't wondering how it all fits. I might be foreshadowing something right now, depending on my will. When it comes to moments in this show that really age bad though, beyond Grouchy or Gundy, never mind. I definitely have to say that Dark Betty is pretty high up there.
Birthday, happy birthday.
This is what happens when you listen to Lana Del Rey too young. And wear a bob. I told you guys this before. Do not come in between a woman with her bob wig. She means business. Bob business. That was so stupid. I'm so sorry. I think an incredibly close second would probably be the reveal that Betty's younger sister Polly had been impregnated by Jason Blossom, who turned out to be their third cousin.
Your great-grandfather wasn't just murdered by a blossom. He was a blossom.
Didn't realize we were getting inspiration from Gabby Hanna's story times, but okay.
I'm going to tell you about the time my parents tried to impregnate me with my brother.
I'm not even going to touch the musical episodes with a 10-foot pole, because if we're going to talk about singing mid-20-year-olds playing teenagers, I want to talk about Glee. I want to go back to the beginning for a second. Glee's intentions. It was supposed to follow a group of ambitious misfits trying to escape the harsh realities of high school by joining a Glee club headed by a passionate Spanish teacher. Oh, he's passionate, alright. No one's gonna argue with you on that. One thing I'll always love about Glee, though, is that they never shied away from making the misfits annoying. And about that shoe. Everything about Mr. Shoe was dramatic. We know this, though. This is the same man that was acting like it was his God-given right to let his students twerk.
This isn't about twerking. It's about rebelling against your repeated attempts to suppress the Glee Club and what we're trying to say. When a law is unjust, it is your duty as an American to disobey.
I think at this point he's probably about 2 degrees away from his Jordan Petersonification.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Oh, I don't like that. Do not look at me like that. Mr. Shoe was obviously a very weird character, but we've been through that before, and he did not work alone. And as ridiculous as this is, I actually think it proves that at its core, as powerful as Glee was as a show, they were completely powerless against the stupid songs that would happen to be trending while they were filming. If Glee was around in 2020, we would probably have a Glee version of Astronaut in the Ocean.
What you know about rolling?
The longer I flesh that out in my head, the more I hate it. And we haven't even gotten to Artie yet.
I'm still standing. something better than I ever did.
I think my favorite part about this performance, though, is that you can't really tell whether the reactions from the Glee Club are them acting, or if they genuinely have no idea what facial expression to put on. Okay, if you're gonna go there, can you at least do it to Rolling in the Deep so it makes sense? Like, what exactly is the point of chucking this man in the pool right now? Where is the lifeguard? Glee also surprisingly, or unsurprisingly, wasn't immune to the whole teacher/student relationship trope. There was a one-sided crush between Rachel and Mr. Schue where they duetted Endless Love, while Mr. Schue clearly wasn't into it at all. But then he decided the way to relay that message to Rachel was to sing a mashup of the two worst possible song choices.
And I want you to listen very closely to the lyrics because I really mean what I'm singing.
Okay, well, let's Google the meaning so we fully understand what he means. Deals with mixed feelings of lust, fear, and guilt that a school teacher has for a student and the fallout when the inappropriate relationship is discovered. Okay, maybe the second one's a bit better? Man becomes distressed upon finding out that the girl he is with is actually younger than the legal age of consent. He is asking her to leave before things go any further or have time to change his mind. I'm sorry, what exactly is the message you're trying to deliver here? I'm getting a bit confused. Question for the culture though. What would you say is worse? The fact that Puck and Shelby slept together? Or the performance that came out of it? First question would be, why is she dressed like Zayn in the Best Song Ever music video? I really hate that this video is reminding me of James Charles though. Like that video of him with the TikTok backup dancers.
One bad bitch and she do it, I say so. 2 big 40s and a big ass Draco.
Like, what are these moves? Why are they doing the Disney knees? If we want to talk about moments from Glee that did not age like milk though, I've got time.
Maybe he finally got freaked out by your strange obsession with old people that causes you to skulk around nursing homes like one of those cats that can smell cancer.
If I farted in front of her, I would kill myself.
Much my bad.
Dare I say this aged a little too good. And above all, I don't care what anyone says. That cover discography's aged like fine wine. If you guys want me to do something similar with shows from the 2000s, the what you say era if you will, definitely let me know. And don't forget, you can use my code Casey at Thredup to get 35% off your first order, plus free shipping. You can also follow me on Twitch, my second channel, all my other social medias, I'll put in the pinned comment down below. But otherwise, thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.